So there's this culture in Australia that, you discuss with your faculty and they really make sure that they help you out in finding a good job. Australia, Canada, UK, US, these are the most popular destination. They will always be the most popular destinations because, people have actually invested their interest. They've invested their faith in these countries. There's no question about the depth of it. There's GS requirements, which is recently used by the Australian immigration. And it's been followed by every university, every institution per se. Dubai mein, you won't believe, a student when studying full-time can work full-time as well. For your information, Cyprus is going to be, by the end of this year, it's going to be a part of Schengen area.
Hello all. Today we are going to talk to Mr. Chetanya, who is Head of Destination at Search Education. Not only he is one of the expert in the study abroad landscape, but he himself studied in Australia at University of Technology, Sydney. Today I am going to ask him why he went to study in Australia, and then we are going to ask him in general what are the new destination, offbeat destination that are coming where students are going abroad today. So first of all, welcome. Thank you, Chetanya, for taking out time and talking to us. As I said, my first thing I want to actually understand, when you went to Australia in 2007 for the education, what was the thought process? Why you went? And in 2007, it was not like the study abroad was not a mainstream thing as of what it has become today. So that's, I think, something that I want to know from you.
First of all, thank you so much for having me here. Basically, it was a journey that actually began right after class 10th when I chose my subjects as science. I was really inclined towards science, since the beginning.
Okay.
So after class 12th, I had a discussion with my brother. He was already in Australia back then.
Okay.
And he helped me with finding up the right course and the right university, where I ended up doing a Bachelor's of Science with a specialization in nanotechnology.
Okay.
At University of Technology, Sydney.
Okay.
And then, it was 2007 when I went there. I started my journey. Trust me, it was very difficult initially. It's obviously pretty hard to, get acquainted to the culture of any part of the world. And then, at the age of 17, what do you expect? So I had to actually, because I was a minor back then.
Okay.
So I had to live with a foster family.
Okay.
Even if my brother was there, I still had to live with a foster family. And they made sure, things were absolutely smooth as possible. And even the university used to make it a regular check every weekend to, counsel me and, just a regular check that they had to make that everything is going fine. So it was good 2.5 months journey for living there with a foster family, and then, start to get to know about the culture there. And and that was the journey.
So you went there for bachelor's, right? What did you do after that? So 2007 to 2010, you were doing your bachelor's? 11. It was a 4-year course. Okay. So what were you doing after that?
So, during my last year of my education, so there's this culture in Australia that, you discuss with your faculty and they really make sure that they help you out in finding a good job. Obviously, nothing is served on a platter, but then something that they will make sure that you're job ready from day one.
Okay.
So by the end of the studies, I was really into, meeting up my faculty, my student advisor, try to make sure that, I land to the right job.
Okay.
And they literally helped me, working on the projects, working on different areas, how to build a good resume and, try to hit the right spot for getting the right job.
Okay.
So, coming from a research background, I worked in now Australia's biggest dental lab. It's Southern Prostate Lab. If you want to just Google it.
Okay.
So I worked in the operations part of for example, one was the anti-snoring devices that I worked. And then there is a new technology that replaces braces to aligners. It's called Invisalign.
Okay.
You might have heard of it. It's very famous in India now. And just working there, and then towards the evening when I had some time off, obviously living by yourself will fetch you enough time to earn some extra money as well.
Okay.
Who doesn't mind it?
Yeah, obviously.
So, the moment I used to finish my job, I used to rush back home, just about 500 meters down the street. There was this Portuguese kitchen. I used to work there.
Okay.
Just to keep myself busy, always handy.
Yeah.
So that was the life that I had, and then being a cricket fan, I used to live very close to Sydney Cricket Ground.
Okay.
Weekend was just about a game, be it cricket, rugby, or anything.
Okay.
So, that was my life pretty much there.
So, sounds very fascinating, by the way. But why did you then move back to India? What was the thought process then, and what you have been doing in India after that?
Right. So, there's this saying that God has its own plan. You can work towards a plan, but then you have to be prepared for the worst.
Yeah.
So while leading a life that way, I was in the preparation of getting my permanent residency part done. But then, unfortunately, my father passed away. And then I had to return back to India. And then, coming back to India, starting from scratch all over again, coming from a culture where things were so much more productive, and then, changing it all over again, and having no experience, living in India or studying in India or, having a professional life in India, had to start from zero.
Okay.
Now, those were the moments when I was literally all over the place. I tried my things in a certain way that I could possibly pursue my career to what I was doing in Australia. But then, God again had a plan for me. I somehow managed to, get to a part where Australia was still within me. So research education is where I started my journey.
Okay.
And I started off as a sales executive, and that's where the learning began.
Yeah.
That was back in 2016, and then over a period of time, with experience, I've catered to a lot of students, hundreds of students I've actually catered to, from send them to different parts of the world. And then, now, at Search Education, I'm the destination manager. So I'm basically heading a lot of destinations over there.
Got it. See, so coming to destination, since you went abroad in 2007 to today in 2025, the world has changed, right? And especially in the last 2-3 years, a lot of things are happening around the world. New technologies is coming in, geopolitical tensions are there, and amid all of this, I keep hearing names of new offbeat destinations that are coming, which I earlier couldn't think of being a study abroad destination, but are now becoming the prominent one, be it Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai. So what's happening there? Like, what are the new offbeat destination according to you? And how oneself take that decision that, okay, hey, do I need to go to mainstream countries, which is US, UK, Canada, Australia, or do I need to go to, let's say, the new offbeat destination? How do students decide that journey?
See, to be very honest, in today's world, especially, technology being a major part of decision making with the students, these days, Australia, Canada, UK, US, these are the most popular destination. They will always be the most popular destinations because people have actually invested their interest, they've invested their faith in these countries. There's no question about that. But having said that, there are opportunities which people might not be aware of at this point of time,
Right.
and they need to know. I mean, it's always good to know about the information and then probably come up with a conclusion, make a pre-plan. So this is my serious advice to everyone, every international student who's looking to go abroad studying, to have their information at ease and, make a decision in a much more wiser way. Why? Because, the destinations, apart from these four, Australia, Canada, UK, and US, the other destinations we talk about, they bring so much for a student. So just to give you a real tip, who doesn't want to save up on money?
Yeah.
Right. So these destinations will definitely make sure that it's easy in the pocket.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that. And then, once you talk about the job opportunities, because they are less known right now, therefore the opportunities are pretty much available.
Okay. So I get it. You're saying that there are new opportunities one should explore. Can we go into specifics? For example, let's say Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai, right? I understand the cost of education must be lower than the mainstream countries. But job opportunities, life after education, because ultimately students go abroad because they want to develop a life there, they want to live there, right? So how do I today, as a student who is in, let's say, 12th class or maybe graduating from an undergrad, thinking of doing my master's, what do I search on Google, right? To search key, okay, hey, are there job opportunities after that? What tells me, what gives me that confidence?
So first of all, to be sincerely honest,
Yeah.
never Google and make a compute plan.
Okay.
There's a reason why there are experts out there
Yeah.
who can guide you. I'll just ask you a very simple question. You go out to get ready for a party. Where do you go to do a makeup? You go to a salon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't go to a cobbler, would you?
Yeah.
So there's a reason why you trust a specialized person who would make sure that you don't have to think about it and things will go along the flow. So having said that, it's really important to understand from a perspective कि, आप अपने आप को अपने आप से चाह क्या रहे? What's the purpose?
Right.
Now, if the purpose is absolutely clear, that's the first step of any student. Now, when we talk about the four countries, Australia, UK, and so on and so forth, these destinations are not all that easy to get into. The reason why, because their admission requirements are so stiff. I'll take an example, Australia, for example, right? People from Punjab and Haryana and the rest of the part of North India, except Delhi, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's very hard to, meet the admissions requirement. Now, when I say admission requirement, to get into the depth of it, there's GS requirements, which is recently used by the Australian immigration. And it's being followed by every university, every institution per se.
Right.
Now, when we talk about GS, there's a few conditions. A, the student has to meet the requirements academically, financially. And when you talk about financials, there are different criteria. So, for example, the parents in particular should have an annual income of, let's say, 10 to 12 lakhs.
Okay.
Now, people from Haryana and Punjab, the major occupation they have is farming.
Yeah.
And farming के अंदर आप खुद बताइए कि 10 to 12 लाख की इनकम कैसे दिखानी जा सकती है? It's not all that easy. So उस पार्ट पे देखेंगे तो एडमिशन रिक्वायरमेंट ही जब मीट नहीं होंगी तो फिर वो क्या करेंगे?
So it seems like the four countries are there, the major countries are there. Now it depends on you whether can you get an admission there? Do you have any clue to clear the admission criterias, put up the cost that is required and survive there, right? The expectations are higher in general. The second option is that you can explore the new age countries where the admission, because they are new, admission criterias are not that strict, financial criterias are not that strict, opportunities are almost equivalent there as well, and you can build your life there as well. So that's what I'm understanding that from what we are discussing at this point in time.
Absolutely. So, see, I'll give you an example. I think that would probably give you clarity. Now, we have universities in Australia, for example. There's this University of Wollongong, based down in Sydney.
Yeah.
They have a campus in Dubai, right? So if you really, understand the costing part, because see, parents के point of view से it's the cost that matters.
Yeah.
I mean, बच्चे का future of course matter करता है, but उससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है कि cost and what's the return on investment. So when we talk about the, the commercial part of, studying in Australia, and you compare it to how it's going to work in Dubai, in the same institution, in the same course, trust me, the difference would be, you can slash it down to half the course. So, अगर कोई चीज़ मान लीजिए 15 lakhs per year में हो रही है, अगर मैं उसको 8 to 10 lakhs per year में ऑफर कर सकता हूँ सेम इंस्टीट्यूशन में, तो उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है? एंड नोइंग द फैक्ट कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया में आज के टाइम पे अगर देखा जाए तो बच्चे वहाँ पे जा रहे हैं, लोगों को हमेशा एक एक प्रॉब्लम रहता है कि पार्ट टाइम वर्क नहीं है वहाँ पे. दुबई में यू वोंट बिलीव a student when studying full time can work full time as well.
Okay.
And that is not possible anywhere else.
Okay.
So आप अपने आप को इतना फ्लेक्सिबल कर सकते हैं कि आप अपना कोर्स पार्ट टाइम भी पढ़ सकते हैं एंड देन यू कैन वर्क फुल टाइम.
ओके.
सो कॉस्ट मैनेज हो गई. आपको कोई बर्डन नहीं है कि आपको इतना पढ़ना पड़ेगा ताकि आप जॉब के लिए अपना टाइम कम कर सको. ऐसा भी कुछ नहीं है. आप इवनिंग में क्लासेस होती हैं, आप ऑफिस गोइंग जॉब्स देखेंगे वो ड्यूरिंग द डे होती है काम. सो दिन में आप काम करिए, शाम को आप अपना क्लासेस लीजिए या वीकेंड में क्लासेस ले लीजिए एंड थिंग्स आर सो मच ईजियर रादर देन यू गोइंग देयर स्टार्टिंग देयर फुल टाइम. पार्ट टाइम काम के लिए आपके पास अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं हो रही है एंड देन यू विंज अबाउट इट दैट ओह देयर इज नॉट इनफ जॉब्स आउट देयर इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया. सो कहने का मतलब क्या है, यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम इंसान खुद समझ नहीं रहा है.
ओके.
हमारे को ये समझना है कि आप वाइजली कैसे इस डिसीजन को ले पाएं कि आपकी कॉस्ट कितनी इन्वॉल्व हो रही है एंड आपका उसमें से रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट किस तरीके से कैलकुलेट होगा. एंड दैट्स वेयर एज आई सेड यू नीड टू एंगेज एन एक्सपर्ट. You can't just Google and find out things and things can be done.
You talked about this new destination being less costly, but still it's a significant amount, right? You need financial planning. Unfortunately, what we have seen at GyanDhan, specifically in education loans, is for the new countries, the loans are not as easily available as the major countries. For example, let's say talk about unsecured loans. So if you're going to, let's say, US, unsecured loans are available. Let's say if you're going to a new age country, they won't easily approve an unsecured loan because the data is not available with the lenders. So how do students manage finances? What's happening in that direction according to you?
See, first of all, the finances involved are less, so there's less pressure. There's no question about it. Now, financial planning को किस तरीके से रखेंगे? See, there are institutions, let's say in Germany, they offer you fully funded programs or very less cost is involved. So let's say about 5 to 10 lakhs for the complete course. That's how much that would cost the student. But then area profile अच्छी होनी पड़ेगी. That's an exception, of course. But when we talk about loan part, someone who is lending money to someone would obviously want to make sure that उसका पैसा वापस कब आए.
Right.
ये तो हमेशा ही चाहिए. That's the logic. एंड उसी की वजह से देखा जाता है कि आप किस इंस्टीट्यूशन में जा रहे हैं, क्या कोर्स कर रहे हैं, एंड देन उसके पार्ट पे आप आगे जाके एम्प्लॉयमेंट किस तरीके की सकते हैं.
Right.
सो दीज आर द फैक्टर्स आई वुड से दैट वुड सजेस्ट कि हाँ आपको लोन मिलना चाहिए या नहीं मिलना चाहिए. नाउ द कोर्सेज, द डेस्टिनेशन दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, दे आर येट टू बी एक्सप्लोर्ड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू नो, देयर वाज द स्टूडेंट लास्ट ईयर जो साइप्रस के लिए जाना चाहते थे, एंड ही वाज गोइंग फॉर अंडर ग्रेड प्रोग्राम. अगेन फ्रॉम पंजाब रीजन. थोड़ा सा उनकी फाइनेंसेस इतने स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं थे, बट दे हैड प्रॉपर्टीज, दे हैड इनकम फ्रॉम फार्मिंग. अब उसमें किस तरीके से चीज़ें होने वाली थी, जो हमने असेसमेंट कराई लोन प्रोवाइडर से, उन्होंने मना कर दिया. एंड उन्होंने रीज़न क्या दिया कि जो इंस्टीट्यूशन आप ऑफर कर रहे हैं उससे वी आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड दैट द स्टूडेंट विल बी एबल टू गेट द राइट एम्प्लॉयमेंट. नाउ फॉर योर इंफॉर्मेशन, साइप्रस इज going to be, by the end of this year, it's going to be a part of Schengen area.
Okay.
They are getting the recognition. And जहाँ पे recognition आती है वहाँ पे job opportunities बनती है.
Right.
Now, that it's same institution, the student had to actually wait for a semester. We made sure that things will be possible. Don't worry, we are with you.
Yeah.
हमने उस बच्चे को पेपर कराया, हमने एक और लोन प्रोवाइडर से बात करी, बेसिकली अ नॉन बैंकिंग फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन.
Okay.
नाउ उनके लिए थोड़ा सा आसान था, और उस पार्ट पे बच्चे के लिए आसान ये हो गया कि उसको लोन मिल गया.
Right.
सो इन अ वे, यू नो, द डेस्टिनेशंस जैसे यूएस, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, यूके एंड, सो यहाँ पे ये भी एक प्रॉब्लम है. जैसे ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अंदर दे डोंट they're not very easy on accepting the fact that, you know, it's from a non-banking financial institution. They don't want this.
Yeah.
Non-collateral loan बहुत सारी universities accept नहीं करती है.
Right.
And I don't see a reason why students should stop dreaming about going to their destination countries, you know, just limiting themselves by, you know, loan नहीं मिलेगा या मेरे लिए पैसा available नहीं हो पाएगा तो मैं पढ़ नहीं पाऊंगा. It's very discouraging for them.
Yeah.
So these destinations obviously made sure कि, you know, even the loan, the finances that are arranged, they are from a non-banking financial institution. It's fine. They're happy with that.
Yeah.
And then they, you know, coming from these providers, they have flexibility. कि आप आज पे नहीं कर सकते, it's okay. We'll calculate something for you. Let's make it easier for you.
Okay.
And then you can, you know, start off by repaying at a certain period of time.
Okay.
So parents के लिए भी थोड़ा सा आसान हो जाता है.
So can you share one success story of somebody who studied in this offbeat destinations, like who have completed the education and what are they doing today?
Sure, absolutely. So I would rather share two.
Okay, sure.
The first one, so he's actually someone who was a neighbor to my maternal aunt.
Okay.
मेरी मासी के साइड में थे वो. He, I think back in 2021, and then I was not in Delhi, I was in Chandigarh.
Okay.
For a certain period of time. I was, you know, working from there. And उनका फ़ोन आता है कि हमारे बच्चे का ऐसे ऐसे आप प्रोफाइल समझिए और इसको गाइड करिए. So, you know, coming from a background जहाँ पे ऑस्ट्रेलिया में पढ़ा हूँ और तो UTS से पढ़ा हूँ, तो फर्स्ट थिंग दैट केम इनटू माय माइंड इज, या पर्सनल केस है, इसको तो मैं एटलीस्ट अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी में प्लेस कराता हूँ.
Okay.
नाउ मैंने UTS में ही एप्लीकेशन डाला.
UTS is University
University
of
of
Technology, Sydney.
Yes,
Okay. Right.
So मैंने एप्लीकेशन डाला, एक्सेप्ट हुआ, बच्चे का इंटरव्यू हुआ, क्लियर हुआ, फाइनेंसिस थे बहुत अच्छे, बट वहाँ से रिजेक्शन हुआ.
Okay.
अब रिजेक्शन का
Rejection is in visa rejection?
यस, उनका रिजेक्शन हुआ.
Okay.
किस वजह से? बच्चा हाई रिस्क रीजन से था.
Okay.
एंड यू नो उस टाइम में लॉकडाउन के टाइम
तो हाई रिस्क रीजन इज कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने कुछ एरियाज को हाई रिस्क बोला हुआ है.
Exactly.
Okay.
So major parts of North India, except Delhi, as I said.
Right.
So he came from Haryana. तो उस टाइम पे भी थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम चल रहा था. ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने तो अपने दरवाजे ही 2022 में खोले थे. बट उस बच्चे का रिजेक्शन सिर्फ इस वजह से कि वो हाई रिस्क रीजन से था. देन आई आस्क्ड हिम टू कम टू माय ऑफिस. मैंने बात करी उससे. मैंने समझाया. मैं कहा इट्स ओके, नॉट द एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. बच्चा तो बच्चा है. उसको आगे किस तरीके से गाइड करना चाहिए, दैट शुड बी द अप्रोच. तो उसको मैंने यूनिवर्सिटी दुबई में ऑफर करी.
सेम
नहीं,
अच्छा,
वो
उनका कैंपस है यहाँ. राइट.
सो हेरियट पॉट यूनिवर्सिटी इज वन आई ऑफर्ड हिम, जो कि यूके की 150 ईयर्स ओल्ड यूनिवर्सिटी है जिसका दुबई में है.
ओके.
मैंने वो उसको ऑफर किया. वो कहता है कि मेरे को मुश्किल लग रहा है दुबई के बारे में, मैंने सुना नहीं है, ये नहीं वो नहीं. मैंने कहा डू यू ट्रस्ट मी? कहता हाँ जी भैया. मैं कहा एक बार जान, तुझे लगता है कि मैं अगर ठीक वो नहीं कर रहा हूँ तो एटलीस्ट दुबई जाके आ जाओ. कितना दूर है?
राइट.
I mean, flying to Dubai is less than,
3 hours.
Yeah.
From many destinations. Right.
मुंबई से सस्ती टिकट है.
Yeah.
सो जाके आओ, देख के आओ. वो गया, देखा उसने. फिर उसने मुझे आके बोला, कहता है कि मेरा ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाने का ड्रीम था, सिडनी जाना था मुझे, आप प्लीज़ मुझे सिडनी की यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफर. मैंने उसको यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ वोलोंगोंग सिडनी कैंपस उसको ऑफर किया. सॉरी, दुबई कैंपस.
Sorry. Yeah.
वो वहाँ पे गया. उसने 1 साल पढ़ा. ही कंप्लीटेड हिज फर्स्ट ईयर. वापस आया छुट्टियों में. ही वाज सो थैंकफुल. ही सेड कि अब मुझे प्लीज़ एक एक्सपोजर ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मुझे. मैंने कहा ठीक है, सेकेंड ईयर आप करो सिडनी से.
अच्छा.
मैंने उसका प्रोसेस कराया. सिडनी गया हो. वहाँ पे उसने प्लान किया था कि मैं 1 साल तो वहाँ पे पढ़ूंगा कम से कम. 1 सेमेस्टर पढ़ा. बिलीव मी, ही केम बैक टू दुबई.
ओके.
मैंने उससे पूछा, मैं कहा क्या किया वहाँ पे, मज़ा नहीं आया क्या? कहता नहीं, सब कुछ अच्छा था, बट मेरे को वहाँ पे अर्निंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ जो थी वो दुबई में बेटर लगी कंपेयर टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया.
ओके.
क्यों? दुबई में देयर इज नो टैक्सेस.
ओके.
व्हाटएवर यू अर्न गोज राइट इन योर पॉकेट.
राइट.
प्लस दुबई में मेजर पॉपुलेशन इज ईदर इंडियन और पाकिस्तानी. तो एक जो कनेक्ट होता है हम लोगों के अंदर, वो जब मिल जाता है तो वाई वुड यू वांट टू इन्वेस्ट योर पेथ इन समथिंग एल्स.
राइट.
आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड.
Right.
सो उस पॉइंट पे उसने मुझे बताया कि गोइंग टू एनी अदर कंट्री, गोइंग टू दुबई इज अ मच मोर सेंसिबल डिसीजन. उसका रीज़न सिंपल, आपका पैसा कम लग रहा है क्योंकि ज़्यादा लोग नहीं है तो अपॉर्चुनिटी ज़्यादा है. And then the return on investment is pretty good.
Correct.
Now, this was one case. Second case, even interesting. Now, this student, ये तो मैं आपको recent बता रहा हूँ. So, I think it was 19th of October 2024. We had this education fair, जिसमें हम students से मिले, बात करी. He came up saying कि मुझे आप यूनिवर्सिटी कोई अच्छी सी बताओ, कोई अच्छा डेस्टिनेशन बताओ जिसमें मैं जा सकता हूँ. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, ही वाज लोडेड विद मनी.
ओके.
तो मैंने उसको सबसे पहले यूएस सजेस्ट किया. मैं कहा ठीक है, जब जा सकता है तो जाए ना. प्रॉब्लम क्या है?
राइट.
देन ही टोल्ड मी अबाउट हिज background. He started in University of Petroleum. There's
देहरादून.
exactly
Right.
So उस यूनिवर्सिटी में वो पढ़े. उन्होंने समझा कि भाई मैं यहाँ से पढ़ा हूँ, मुझे आगे जाके क्या करना है, क्या करना चाहिए. मैंने उनको थोड़ा सा गाइड किया कि आई थिंक क्योंकि आप इस यूनिवर्सिटी से हैं, आपका बैकग्राउंड इसमें है, तो आप अगर हो सके तो एक बार दुबई का ऑप्शन देख सकते हो.
राइट.
कहता है क्यों? कहता है मुझे दुबई में कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, तो सस्ता है और एक्सपोजर नहीं है, ये नहीं है वो. मैं कहा ठीक है, इट्स फाइन, जाके आओ. Even there, he visited the university, Harriet Port University. में there's this course MSc Chemical Petroleum Engineer.
Okay.
दुबई से अच्छा पेट्रोल इंजीनियरिंग पूरी दुनिया में कहीं भी हो सकता है. तो
Yeah, in fact, मतलब petroleum engineering तो UAE is where the
Exactly.
entire business is.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So वो गया वहाँ पे. पढ़ रहा है अभी बॉम्बे एंड उसके रिव्यूज एक्सेलेंट है. सो कहने का मतलब क्या है कि you can't come up to a conclusion unless you actually experience something. किसी के कह देने से it does not mean anything to you. आपकी अपनी strengths होती है. You have to back your strengths in a way and you have to apply yourself. आप डरोगे, डर के वजह से आप उसको नहीं attempt करोगे. But then once you attempt and what's the worst? You fail.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You learn from that.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. And I keep telling my students,
Yeah.
do not be afraid to fail.
Right.
So yeah, keep up to success stories.
Thanks, Chetanya. I think my understanding and perception about new age countries, specifically Dubai, and how to think about this new age countries has definitely improved. I'm sure people who have watched this, who will watch this, will have their perspective as well. And I'm sure many students will reach out to you after watching this, so be prepared for that. But apart from that, thanks a lot. I think it was really, really insightful. Many new ideas were discussed, and something that students can rely on at the end of the day and make their plans. With that, thanks a lot for taking your time.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.